Welcome everyone to our webinar about creative thinking and problem solving. Today we have here two speakers, Eric Costa and Attila Kovács, PhD. Eric Costa will be talking about mindfulness and over-delivery and customer success. He is an MBA in strategic management and business intelligence, customer service, and director of Tupã Communication in Brazil. And our speaker, Attila Kovács, PhD, he'll be talking about effective problem solving and decision making. He's from Transilvania University of Brasov on Faculty of Sociology and Communication in Romania. Okay, so thank you so much everyone for being here, and the screen is all yours.
Thank you, Emerson. Thank you, Professor Attila. It's a big pleasure to be here with you guys. Thank you. Our people want to see us here. It's a very good pleasure to present. My English is not perfect. I have some mistakes. Please, if you cannot understand something, let me know. We are here to learn together, right? It's not our native language, so we have some mistakes sometimes. But it's a very pleasure to be here with you. Let's start talking about creative thinking. Or Professor Attila, if you wanna say something, I'm sorry, I start to be my presentation and I forget to say hello for you. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's your floor, so you are welcome to start your presentation. I'm listening, and I am very impatient to hear you.
Sounds good. Thank you so much to be here with you. So let's go. Go ahead. Oh, just remember, if you have something to say, Professor Attila, please interrupt me and let's talk together, right?
Okay.
All right. Let's go. So today I bring not an idea. It's a small presentation to how can I say, to show you guys what we can do to bring more creativity thing for our day, and in this case, how to develop our skills. Right. To start, I wanna present me, as Emerson said. Here's my social media. This is a very important thing to show nowadays. Actually, I forget to put here, but nowadays we are inside the Clubhouse. I don't know if Clubhouse, it's a famous network, social network in Romania too, Professor Attila, but here in Brazil, we are using a lot Clubhouse. I don't know if you have, do you have Clubhouse account?
No, I didn't.
But do you know something about that?
No, not really.
That's a very new social media that works only for sound, only for our voice. We made a lot of presentation, but only audio. Actually, this is very good stuff. So, but that's my traditional ones. My Instagram, like follow Eric, but in Portuguese we call segue o Eric, and LinkedIn, and my email too. Right? Let's go. Let me introduce what I believe, or in this case, my goals, or why I'm here today. First of all, to learn together, as I said, to learn more English, to learn more skills, to learn more creativity stuff, right? The second one is to inspire ourselves, because every word that I can say here, it's an inspiration for me to share good ideas, to make mistakes together, right? To clarify our ideas, and of course to have fun. This must be a time to have fun, learn together. So the first step that I can bring for you today, guys, it's about fail idea. Every time or every day we are looking for the perfect idea, the best idea, the genuine idea. But we need to know that the fail idea is the first step to win a big idea, or to reach a big idea. And let's check it out. First step, the first thing that we need to know is share our bad ideas, or in this case, share your bad ideas. Because when we have a bad idea and we share this, another people can hear this and can complete your bad idea, in this case, and this transform in a middle idea and go ahead to a big idea, right? And I want to know something about you. Do you know this guy, Professor Attila? Do you know him?
It looks familiar.
This
Yeah, but
very famous guy. If you are watching now, if you want to tell us if you know who is this guy, because he's a very important person in the political world. You know, do you know him?
not sure. I don't want to tell me, please.
Yes, he's the prime minister. Both is very important person nowadays, but one
Yeah,
of this is
the guy from the right, I know him.
yes, it's not too good image nowadays. Donald Trump is not too good image, not too good person around the world because he has some trouble in the United States. But the another one is Shinzo Abe. He is the ex prime minister from Japan, and he's still being a president of the Liberal Democratic Party,
Okay.
and he's the third longest serving prime minister in post-war Japan. He's a very important guy, not in only in Japan but around the world. He's a very serious guy, And I wanna show some case because in Olympic Games, Rio 2016 Olympic Games, uh, the Olympic Games happens in Rio, in Brazil, of course. And after we came to next edition that want to happen in 2020, but about the COVID, they don't have it. But will be in 2021, in this year, July, or I hope, or July or August. I can't remember now, but will be in Japan. And Shinzo Abe was the prime minister at that time when Olympic Games happens in Rio. At that time, in the end of the ceremony, it's a traditional stuff. Every time the country, the main country that Olympic Games is happening in that country, needs to pass like a key, pass the key from the another country. And Rio or Brazil is passing the key from Japan. That will be another country to do the Olympic Games. So making the history, try to imagine you that was watching now at this moment, sitting in this chair in a meeting room with Shinzo Abe. This guy, Shinzo Abe, with you in this room, having a conversation about how to launch our Olympic Games stuff for around the world with creativity, with innovation, with impact. You know, we we try to bring that Tokyo 2020 and that meeting that I told. And you are here, for example, you are this guy, very preoccupied, because in this table are a lot of important person from Japan. They are discussing a lot of things about Olympic Games, the trouble that we have, and you need to bring a big idea. Let's check something. The last something. When we put angry Japanese or rich Japanese or serious Japanese on Google, we can see this picture because he's a very rigid guy. Very not angry but serious, responsible, rigid. It's about the Japanese culture, right? So it's very hard to present a creative idea because sometimes we have not doubts, but we have trouble to be fun, to be happy with something because how can I say, a rigid person is not too open to listen creative things. Can you understand me, Professor Attila? Makes
Yes,
sense for you?
and I
Uh,
agree you. More
yes,
more.
because when you have, for example, we have a meeting and we start our conversation and I'm here like
You are
this.
You are closed inside of
Yes,
you. Your nonverbal communication tells you that you don't let any new idea to enter into your field of perception.
that's it. I'm close. You find the perfect word to say. I'm close. It's hard to open with some ideas, you know, because I'm very close. My body's closed, my mind is closed, you know,
Exactly.
everything is closed in this case. So let's come back to the meeting, to the table meeting. Try to imagine a very bad idea that some person suggests. Hey, Shinzo Abe, what do you think about we created this guys for you like Mario Bros, and you, the most important person from Japan, like political person, will appear like a Mario Bros here, like this. Of course, could be a very bad idea. Could be idea that never happens. But when we believe in a bad idea and bring, and when we share this bad idea, could be a good idea. In this case, creativity lives in a bad idea, in this space between bad idea and genial idea, you know. So if we offer this idea for another person, for example, will be a bad idea, but in that case, in this time, talking about Tokyo Olympic Games 2020, in this case 2021, of course, will be a good idea, and it happens. I bring some video to show you guys. I don't know, Emerson, please help us. If I share some video here, people can hear me. People can hear the audio or not. I
Yes, you
forget to
can.
ask you. All right, let me show you guys. Just a second. I just need my internet works.
Oh, from YouTube, I don't think it will be possible.
Oh, can you hear us? Can you hear the video? No.
No, not from YouTube.
No? Not yet?
No.
Ah, no problem. I just show the time. Like here. Just like this. Can you imagine this, Professor Attila? The Prime Minister transforming Mario Bros. It's something like could be a bad idea in this case.
Yeah. I'm not sure what you are talking about here about transforming, but be a little bit specific to.
It's hard to believe the Prime Minister. Nowadays in Brazil, we don't have Prime Minister, we have President, of course, but it's very hard to believe that our president to agree, you know, with some action or creative action like this. And Japanese people is very rigid and closed than Brazilian people, and they do that, you know. This is something that I believe. The bad idea or the genuine idea, it lives between bad idea and good idea, you know. You need to find this place, and this is very good thing. And I'm bringing here some phrase to you, to you guys, like the focus on creativity and innovation is important because most problems might require approaches that have never been tried before, like this. Anyone tried to do this before? because to asking this from a prime minister, it's something hard to do, you know. This is very important to say. So going ahead, the second tip is about consume different kinds of content. This is a personal tip, you know, because I'm working with creativity stuff, I'm working with advertising and marketing stuff, and every day I read something about this, but I need to read and listen and share and watch different kinds of content about dance, about music, about traffic jam. I'm sorry, about environmental stuff. You know, because when you discover new contents, we can bring together like this, like the cell phone is together video, audio, picture, calculator, recorder, a lot of things together is the same thing that when we are talking about creativity, because we need to mix or mesh up a lot of things. We bring to put together music, videos, I know a lot of things when we put together. And I believe this too. When we consuming all kinds of content, being able to relate like this, different piece of media, could be media in this case, and deconstruct issues to come to appropriate answers. And it's not too hard to do. It's just about habits. If we every day read different contents, this will be good for you in the future because we have a new habit. For example, to read one page per day, but one page of what? Just for newspaper? No, we can see something 10 minutes on YouTube video, 10 minutes of newsletter, 10 minutes of sports, you know, because we need to bring more content in a different way to create new situations, you know. And something like this, expose yourself to situations in which a new ideas is needed. Because if we make everything every day the same way, it's hard to find new stuff, you know. It's hard to find new ideas. And this is a very important tip. I bring some case to show you guys. It's a Brazilian supermarket, and they bring very different in their floor. I want to show you guys. This supermarket is a Brazilian supermarket. It's just a little bit, how can I say? They are more in capital in São Paulo and near São Paulo. It's not too cheap to buy there something, but they have an interesting thing like this. This is an important newspaper, economic newspaper from Brazil, and they are telling about São Marché, the history of the incredible supermarket net that earns $8,100 million like this. It's a lot of money, a lot of money. And here, one of example, you know, this is a regular supermarket with tile floor, like in our homes, for example. And this is inside the São Marché. They use wood, you know. It's a very big problem about them because to clean this is bad. It's hard to do that. It's hard to clean wood. It's harder than to clean tile, you know, in this case. And for example, they have refrigerators that every day spends water in the floor, you know, and they have to give the works to do that. And they said, so it's our identity. Wood is our identity. We prefer to do that. It's wrong. It's a problem. It's hard to clean. It's hard to maintain. It's hard to create. It's hard to construct, but it's our identity. We're still going wrong, but we still in the right way. You know, can you understand, Professor Attila? It's a wrong way, but it's the best way from them, you know?
Yeah, exactly. The worst turns out to be the best.
Yes, like this, because not they change anything, but they transform the experience to sell, you know? People who goes inside the supermarket know this, and they can say, oh, it's a good experience to buy that. You know, I can find, I go with my family, it's a comfortable space, and we can make the best, like best shop, you know. Of course, it's not true about the just only wood on the floor, but it's one point, and one very important point that they said, we're still making wrong, we're still making a mistake, but we still earn money selling our products inside this, you know. In the end of the account will be good for them. Another picture from them, just to show you guys about that. And in this case, I believe this is a critical situation because they make the right choice. Even this choice will be negative from them sometimes because it's harder to maintain that. But they believe that creative thinking skills is a critical part of life, no matter where or you work on, you know. This is very important tip to say. The 31 is very important. I believe in this every day because we learn more when we are doing something. So this learn while doing, it's important tip. Oh, Eric, I don't know how to do that. So start doing as you can, and you in the middle of the way will be better. Of course, we need we need people to help us every time, but if you are learning while doing, is the best way to learn quickly because you are practicing that, you know. This is very good. This is a good idea to know.
There are
And
some, sorry, Eric.
no, please
There are
go
some
ahead.
saying also. There are some saying in Romanian. There is a saying, "Pofta vine mâncând." I don't know in English. How can I explain? So you are not hungry, but when you start eating, the hunger comes into the into the play, into the scene. So you are not hungry, but start
Start
eating,
eating.
and you start to be hungry. So that's what you are talking about.
Very good, very good. How can I say this in Romanian?
Pofta vine mâncând. Pofta vine mâncând.
It's hard to repeat, Professor Attila, but I would try. I promise. I have another conversation when
About
it
maybe you have in Brazilian also some kind of saying, or maybe you don't have something similar in Brazilian.
not the same way, but I can understand because hungry for us in Portuguese is fome. So to translate, of course, not correctly way to say, but it's something like comece a comer que a fome vem. It's something like this, or
Okay.
start. Can you understand me in Portuguese?
A
No,
little bit, a little bit. No, a little bit. I think I
it's
understand.
it's something like start eating that hungry's come like this. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
exactly, exactly.
Sounds good. Sounds good. But here we are in the same page talking about this because if you are learning and doing and learning more and doing more and learning better and doing better like this, like the hungry and time to eat like this. That's very good. Very good example. I want to know this in Romanian because I will use this with my friend Professor Florin, right?
Yes, I think he's listening us because I've seen he sent us a message.
Oh, very good, very good, very good. It's good to receive you here, my friend Florin. Thank you to spend your time here with us. So, do you know this? This is a book. I don't know if you heard about, but it's the author calls Eric too, just because this I
Samuel
start reading.
Samuel Beckett. The original quote is from Samuel Beckett. It's very nice. It's very nice quote, by the way.
Yes, do you know him? Do you know him? Yes, but very good, very good. And they say, ever try, ever fail, no matter. Try again, fail better. Try again, fail better, and go ahead. This is
Exactly.
nowadays they calls about the startup mindset. like this, because we don't have time to spend in research. We need to spend our time working. So when we are working, we are trying, we are failing, and trying again and doing again. It's a very good thing to do, right? And here I bring for you guys 6 points. That very important thing that we have every day. We need to have every day. First of all, if we need to create something, bring your team and make a brainstorming. It works. It literally works. Nowadays they call about bring writing too. That's the same than brainstorming, but writing could be good too. Lateral thinking, like different point of views. What do you think about this? And let's do the lateral thinking. Experimentation, of course, is very good to know. Opposing views is important too. We in Portuguese we used to say, Professor Attila, the I will do the devil lawyer, like this. You know, the we say advogado do diabo when we need to find something and we create the opposite view of the same thing. So, for example, I bring a good idea for you. Oh, what do you think about the weekend, Professor Attila? Let's go to the lake. Oh, good idea. And I bring the bad way. Oh, but it's cold. Lake is not too comfortable. What do you think? I'm doing the opposite view. You know, like the devil lawyer. We call in Brazil devil lawyer, like this. I don't know why, but we use asking question and communication. The 6 points that I believe will be a very good idea to find creative stuff. So I love this picture because this is a perfect illustration about good ideas. And this dog, the every time I use this picture, I like to use because when we are trying to be creative, sometimes we bring more things that we need, and the simple stuff is the most important point about creative stuff. So this guy, I suppose could be a family. Is with 4 children and 1 dog, but they are happy and they are complete. This is a perfect idea. Of course, not too safe, but it's a perfect idea because they are together and they solve that problem. Everyone have his space, have his time to I don't know, to go, time to grow up, time to take a ride. You know, this is a perfect picture to talk about creativity. And I bring to finish a piece of part for a very important book that I like, who calls Still Like an Artist. Still Like an Artist. Because the author said we need to steal like a thief good ideas. If we see something that can inspire our mind, inspire our day, we can bring that together. We can bring the good idea and mix with another one. And here we have 10 points to know that. First of all, still like an artist, it means bring with you something that you know, something that you see, you know. The second one, don't wait until you know who you are to get started. This is very smart thing. Very smart thing. Write the book you want to read. That's I like this because we have many people with the same point of view around the world. So if you bring something like share bad ideas, if you are sharing bad ideas, could be the book that another person wants to read. Use your hands. It means make happens, not wait. Go ahead, like use your hands, start something. You know, the fifth point, side projects and hobbies are important, of course, because we need to free time. we need to breathe sometimes, you know. The sixth one, it's the secret. Do good works and share with people. That's very good idea. Geography is no longer our master. This is very good too. Be nice. I love this. I love this. I told today in the morning, I have a meeting with a customer, and we have 30 people inside this room. Everyone using mask. This is important to say. But today in Brazil, it's a Women's Day. I don't know. It's a will be the Human's Day, right? Woman's Day. This is the Woman Day in the Romanian too, Professor Attila. Woman's Day.
Sorry.
Today is the word.
Yeah. Exactly. The Women's Day. Yeah.
Yes, it's the same in Romania, I believe. Yes. And I told her, because we have 9% the women's inside the class, and I told her it's very important thing. We need to be nice one with others here, because the world is a small town. That's true. For example, we are here having a conversation with person from another parts around the world. People from India, people from Romania, people from Brazil, people from Mexico. I don't know how many people we have here now, but that's the correctly and perfect representation that we are connected, and the world is a small town, because at this moment we are in the same place, we are talking about the same subject, and one day, for example, 2 years ahead, we can meet in Romania, for example. I love to spell Brasov, like
Yes.
Brasov, like my friend Professor Florin teach me, and we can stay together like a small town again. That's very important tip. So be boring. Boring, it means when we are focused and we need to solve this problem, we can do what we have to do. So be boring sometime. We need to be focused, and it means be boring in this case. In the last, the end of the steps is creativity, it's subtraction. It means we need to find, looking for, we need to work to find this. So that's all, folks. My little presentation for you guys. I hope you could understand my words. English is not my first language, so we are working every day just a little bit to be better, to try in our language. For me and for Professor Attila, it's not our natural language, but we are studying and learning and trying to do better. I hope you could understand, and I'm here to having a conversation before. So, Professor Attila, now I pass the words. You know.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and congratulations, Eric, for your presentation.
Thanks.
Just a moment, we have a question here. As a marketing student, I like to consume all kinds of content, but there is so much information that sometimes I feel lost. How to keep focus in the middle of all of this?
Very good question, Bruna. Thank you. I know her. She's a very smart girl. Sounds very good to receive your question, Bruna. Sometimes I use it to say about focus, because sometimes we don't have to be focused. We need to consume everything as we can, of course, because sometimes the answer that we are looking for is not in the same place that we use it to find, you know. So if we are focused in only one thing, it's harder to find. Sometimes we need to open our mind for another things, or to permit us to do something different. For example, 1 week ago, my girlfriend asked me, "Hey, Eric, let's just see a different, as we can, a different series on Netflix." And we start to looking for a very different thing that we never see. And we discover a Siri who calls blowing glass, blowing something like this. This is a person who create glass, pieces of glass, blowing like this. Do you know about it? It's something that I never looking for. And watching this series without focus, I have a lot of tips, a lot of insights, because they are very creative. For example, to create this a piece of glass, they're using a lot of things, a lot of people working together, working the same time, making a brief before. What do we have to do? I have to do that. You have to do that. You know, and I believe, Bruna, that sometimes the answer is not on focus, but without focus, you know, because if you are looking for something new, you need to make different, and you need to looking for it in another place, another, you know. Can you understand me? I hope you can, but Professor Attila, if you want to complete something.
Yes, it is a very important issue what you mentioned, because nowadays with all this social media, we live in a filter bubble. There is an author, Erick
That's
Costa, who
true.
talks about the filter bubble. So, and there is in sciences also a confirmation bias. We tend to look for the things, movies, books, music, which we like, which confirms our beliefs. So it's very important from time to time to go outside the bubble in which you live, to find other views, to find other things. So it's very important. That's why I agree 100% with your idea to introduce in your method to find creativity, this kind of view, not focusing on a specific field, but defocusing and start to find other fields, other issues.
Sounds good. Very good. I've never thought about this perspective. Very interesting. Oh, sounds good, Bruna. Sounds good. Don't be focused in this case. Excellent presentation. Taking the opportunity. How can we involve people who are normally close to create? Oh, very good question too, Edison. Thank you. I don't know in English. I want to put here to translate, but I believe that close people, as we said, Professor Attila, is it's hard to break this. We call break the glass, something like this, or breaking ice, something like that, because
Exactly.
we are,
Nice.
yes, breaking ice. So to bring these people from the project, it's correctly to say insistent. It's correctly to say this.
Yes.
Let me check. Translate. Translate. Insistent. It's
Persistent.
correct. Persistent. Yes. We
Exactly.
need to be persistent. Let me check. Just a second, please. Insolente. In Portuguese, we used to say be persistent, don't be impudent. It's the first time that I know this word, but in Portuguese we say seja insistente, não seja insolente. In this case, impudent. I never see this before, but because sometimes we believe that anyone is the same page than us. For example, I know a lot of things about creativity, for example, but I never study something about economics. So if Professor Attila works every day with economic stuff and I work every day with creative stuff, we are in a different page. So I never can expect that Professor Attila stay with me in the same page, because we work and live different ways of life, you know. And if I need the attention of Professor Attila in my project, I can't be impudent with him. I need to persist. Professor Attila, let's go again. Let's go again. Let's try again, you know. So to bring close people, because it not means that this people is close with everything situation, you know, because sometimes it's close just with this subject. Oh, it's hard for me, economic stuff. I study a lot to learn, but I have friends, for example, who works with this every day, and they are 20 pages in a different way than me. It's hard to expect that I stay in the same page than my friends because I never study a lot like them. So if they are impudent with me, I go out, I'm out, break, finish. But if I persist, let's go together, came to see, be part of this, you know, let's work together. Wellison, could be a good idea. I hope you could understand me too. But if will be bad, tell me, please let me know, right? That's it, my friend.
That's it. Thank you so much for your presentation. It was really, really interesting. And now let's move on to our next presentation. Professor Attila, the screen is all yours.
Thank you very much. I hope you can see. Yes. Okay. Good afternoon, good evening to everyone. I am Attila Kovács, assistant professor at the Transilvania University, Faculty of Sociology and Communication. My presentation will focus mainly on decision making and problem solving, which together with Erick's presentation, which focused on creativity, I think will give you a good idea about these problems. It is not easy to be good at problem solving and make good decisions nowadays, as we will see in this course. Because we have to practice a lot. And that's why I choose a very important quote from Daniel Kahneman, who is a Nobel Prize winner in economic sciences in 2002, who says, I can imagine a future in which just as many of us exercise physically will also exercise mentally for 20 or 30 minutes a day. Keep in mind this quote, and we'll go forward and we'll discuss about this a little bit later. The outline of this presentation will have one exercise. We will have the decisions explained. We will discuss about intuition versus rational decision analysis, and we will discuss about the way to better decisions. Let's start with the exercise. Emerson, if somebody answers me to a question, can I see it, or can you summarize it? Because I will put a question, and in the chat room or in the message room, I'm expecting to see an outcome about my question, to see if it's yes or no, or something like this. Do you have a feedback? You can see a feedback like this?
Yeah, the students' comments on the YouTube channel I can see and show you. If
Okay.
the students censor it, I can just show you.
Perfect. Let's go further then. The exercise is called Monty Hall. Let's presume that you are on a game show and you are offered the choice between three doors. Behind one of the doors is a brand new Ferrari. Behind the other two are goats. So the idea is to win the Ferrari, because in business it's all about money, right? And I give you the opportunity to win this Ferrari. I'm sorry that we are holding this course in online matter, but if I were keeping the course physically, I surely would come with the Ferrari to show you that you have the possibility to win the Ferrari. Okay, so you have to focus on winning the Ferrari. You pick a door, say door number 1, and the host, in that case, the host, who knows what's behind each door, opens another door, say door number 3, to reveal a goat. Then he gives you the option to switch to another unopened door, door number 2 in that case. What would you choose? Should you switch or should you stick with your choice? That's how the problem look. So we, both of us, for the exercise, we choose door number 1. I, the host, opened door number 3 and I revealed you that it is a goat behind the door. And now I put you the following question. Do you switch choosing door number 2, or do you stick with your initial choice, door number 1? So let's see who will choose door number 1. I want to see the answers. Emerson, maybe I want to see the majority, not exactly who stays with his initial decision and who will switch. Okay, I need some votes. Maybe everybody write a message in a chat in the chat room. So who will stay with door number 1 and who will switch to door number 2? Let's see. Emerson, do we have some outcome?
Only comments. Only comment here.
Manter essa distância que está mantendo.
Can we see something?
Yes. Some are comments majority on number 1.
Okay, I've seen some answers. So the majority, as I've seen, the majority stick with initial choice, door number 1. Eric, what do you choose? Door number 1 or door number 2?
I'll go with number 2.
Yeah, so you switch.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know how many persons are in the conference in this room, but as I've seen, the majority did not switch, and as you can see, I can read your mind. And for those who didn't switch, I have to tell you that you made the wrong choice, because the right choice is to switch always. I put this question to you, maybe to you, Eric, also, and the audience. Give me some answers. Why people are staying with the initial choice, and why people are switching at one moment? I see both of the possibility. Maybe Eric, maybe you'll give me your answer why you switch to door number 2, and in the meantime, somebody will write on the chat why he stayed on the first decision and or why he switched. Let's see. What's your opinion?
I really don't know if I understand everything, but in my point of view, you told that you have 2 goats and 1 Ferrari, right? So
Exactly.
If you open one door, like number 3, and we see the goat, we have 50% to find the Ferrari, right? So I don't know, I pick one, like door 2, because I really don't know. But I switch
But
my
if it's
opinion,
50, Eric, but if it's 50%, then is the chances are equal.
Yes.
You said it's 50.
Yes, because we have just 2 doors now, right? Because one of these, we have a goat. Or no?
Yeah, so initially we had 3 doors. When you picked door number 1, you picked door number 1 and you had 1 to 3 to win. Yeah?
Right, yes.
But and I told you that the right choice is always to switch, and we'll see why. Because there are some cognitive distortions, the dissonances, which enters into the scene, and I will explain them a little bit in the following slides. What are cognitive distortions? They were introduced by Kahneman and Tversky, and they are systematic model of deviation from rationality in judgment. Individuals create their own subjective reality. The construction of reality by individual, not the objective input, dictates their behavior. Cognitive dissonances can sometimes lead to perceptual dissonances, inaccurate judgment, illogical interpretation, what generally is called irrationality. And we are going to explain them a little bit in details. What kind of cognitive distortions enter into the scene? The first one is the possibility versus probability. We should not forget how many variants we had at the beginning, namely 3. And given that the probability of hitting the first from the first choice is 1 to 3, it is always convenient to change. Think about a pandemic, because we have this pandemic here. The probability of contacting the virus is not the same like the possibility of contacting the virus. You agree with this? The probability of dying from the virus is not the same as the possibility of dying from the virus. And think about the side effect of the vaccine. It's not the same if I give you a vaccine which has 1 to 3 chances to have some side effects, or I give you a vaccine that has 2/3 chances to have some side effects. And we'll see a little bit later this in more detail. So, and how this translates to a business, let's say, to a business environment. It translates very easily, because in what kind of business do you invest in? In a business which is successful 1 to 3, or it is successful 2 to 3? It has chances 2 to 3 to be successful. There is a very big difference. Okay, I will go a little bit further, but I will come back to the possibility versus probability, because it is very, very important. The other cognitive distortion is the endowment effect, in which people tend to overvalue the winning probability of the already own door. And the third one is the status quo bias, in which people prefer to stick with the choice of door they have already made. In business, we can I can give you an example for a business which doesn't work, but you postpone always decision to close it, to finish it. it doesn't work, but because you invested time, you invested money in that business, you can't put the end to that business. The fourth one is it's very, very interesting. Also, is a little bit like a play with the words. It sounds like this: errors of omission versus errors of commission, in which people prefer any errors for which they are responsible to have occurred through omission of taking action rather than through having taken an explicit action that later becomes known to have been erroneous. In business, let's see how it works in business. These are mistakes we do not act when we should. These are cases in which, although we performed analysis and due diligences, when we thought there might be an opportunity for investment, and then, for whatever reason, we decided not to act. These mistakes are missed opportunities based on decisions that did not work in our favor. On the other hand, these errors affect capital and therefore are very, very hard to swallow, therefore are much harder to swallow. And the last distortion is neglecting relevant information, in which we do not take into account information that appears later in the equation. In that case, specific case of Monty Hall, of the exercise I gave you, the fact that I opened door number 3 and revealed there is a goat behind that door is the relevant information which I gave you in the following segments of the problem. So initially, when you decided about door number 1, you didn't have any other information. And after that, I gave you a very important information, a relevant information, in which those who stick with your initial choice, stayed with your initial choice, didn't take into account, neglected this relevant information. Didn't I convince you? Maybe there are some guys looking at this problem and saying, okay, maybe I didn't understand very well, or I didn't succeed to convince you about this, but no problem, because we are going to take some scratch cards. Then we are going to a lottery office and we are going to buy 1,000 tickets. So consider the following example. Consider a lottery with 1,000 tickets that can be scratched off, and only one contains a prize. Let's say $1 million, for example. So 1,000 tickets and only one with the prize. Okay. You buy one, all of you buy one ticket, I buy all the others. If I were to ask you if you would switch your ticket with all of mine, would you switch? What do you say? Eric, sure. If I were to ask you to switch your ticket with all of mine after I have scratched them all, but one not, would you switch? So I take all of the 998 scratch card and I will scratch them. All of are not winning, but I keep the last one, the last scratch card. It is in my hand, and you, all of you, you have your initial ticket, which you bought together. Yeah. Do you switch with mine or not?
It's something like intuition. I really don't know. I really don't know, because when you ask him and you bring something like how can I say this? It's a mentally thing that you need to convince yourself to do that, because I really don't know the correct answer. I really don't know.
I'm telling you the correct answer, because it's very, very tricky. That's why I told you at the beginning we have to exercise mentally, because these are not easy things. We are not confronted with all those distortions works in our mental processes, in our cognitive processes, because when you buy one ticket from 1,000, how many percent chances you have to win?
I really don't know.
1 in
Because
1,000.
one
In one. Yeah, exactly. So you have 1,000 tickets. There is only one, the winner. I told you there is only one winner, $1 million. And when you buy only one, you have 1 to 1,000 chances to win.
Yes.
And while I buy all the others, so I buy 999 tickets, how much chances to win do I have?
More than one, I suppose.
I have exactly 999 chances to win.
Yes.
So I have the possibility
To win in this
to
case.
win is different than the probability. Probability for me to win is 999 to 1,000. And your probability to win is 1 to 1,000.
1,000.
So it's very
Yes.
small. Exactly. Your probability is very, very small. Almost, I can give you for sure that you are not winning. And my probability is very, very high.
Yes.
I can almost certainly can tell you that I am winning. But from the point of view of mixing the possibility with the probability, there is two different things, because despite the fact that I have the huge probability, it could happen to lose. Yeah,
Yes,
it could
because
happen. The
I
chances
have
to
the
lose is
possibility in my scratch card to be the only
exactly.
one to be the winner.
Exactly. That's two different things. But from the point of view of the science and from the point of view of the business, you have to take account on the probability, because probability it gives you some ideas how to invest, how to take care of your business. This is very, very important. So of course you should switch if I give you the possibility to change your ticket with mine, because they have two different kind of probability. So the answer should be yes, since the relevant probability, the relevant cases we should count in is the one in the moment we buy the tickets, independently on whether I scratch my tickets or not. And the Monty Hall is the same, only with 3 doors, not 1,000 tickets, with 3 doors. So it's exactly the same. So when you choose the first door, you have 1 to 3 chances to win. If you switch, you have 2 to 3 chances to win. That's the difference. And it's very, very important.
Just a second,
Okay.
Professor Attila, because I like this. We need to understand the situation about possibility and probability, because
Probability. Exactly.
yes, sometimes we have a possibility and we have more faith than probability, and it works. But in another case, we need to go with the probability side to be more safe in some choice. I try to understand like this to bring to my work, for example, because sometimes we just have one ticket, and this is a gold ticket, for example, and we can win. But sometimes it's better to have the 99% others. This is very
Exactly.
very, very important thing. Thank you.
It's good point. But when we have only 3 cases, it's okay. You can have a faith that okay, you choose the good door. But when you have 1,000 tickets, think about. I come back to coronavirus. Think about a vaccine. which has 1 to 1,000 chances to give you some side effects. Would you take the vaccine? Of course you would take, because it has only 1 to 1,000 chances to have the side effects. But if I gave you a vaccine which has 999 chances to 1,000 to give you the side effects, would you take the vaccine? Of course not.
No.
Because almost sure it has some side effects. So that's a little bit, but we will come back to see, to explain a little bit later this in more details. Cognitive distortions has also some positive aspects. They are not necessarily bad. It helps people to find quick decisions, to help navigate common situations in life, helps adaptability, can lead to more effective actions in a given context. It allows for faster decisions that may be desirable when timeline is more important than accuracy, and we cannot process all the information around us, so we resort to mental shortcuts to make decisions quickly and efficiently. And this is a very important question. Is it about your IQ? The problem was about your IQ or not? And I have to give you a very, very good news. It is not about your IQ. Paul Erdős, who is one of the most prolific mathematicians in history, remained unconvinced until he was shown a computer simulation demonstrating the predicted results. So it's not easy for us to process this kind of exercise, to accept that the solution is always to switch. This is very famous mathematicians remains unconvinced until they were presented a computer simulation. Okay, we go further to the decisions, how we make decisions. Maybe you list all the relevant criteria in an Excel sheet, and then you evaluate each criteria from 1 to 10. This procedure is logical, rational, and systematic. There is just one problem. The problem is that this entire story is a myth. Researchers show that this system does not function in real life. So let's give you an example. This is called the rational choice method, which I talked before with the Excel sheet. Let's presume that you have to buy a car, and you have 3 options, car A, car B, and car C. So A, B, C. And you have the evaluation dimension according to price, reliability, safety, and consumption. And of course, this will give you some result. And from that result, you from that rational choice method, you will choose car A because it has the best the score. Seems to be all good, but in reality, the classical model of decision does not work at all, because decisions in reality are increasingly challenging, situations are confusing and complex, information is rarefied and inconclusive, time is short, and the stakes are very high. And that's why I bring into your attention another definition of decision, which is given to us by Herbert Simon, also prize winner in economics, who tells us that when individuals make decisions, their rationality is limited by the available information, the tractability of the decision problem, the cognitive limitations of their minds, and the time available to make the decision. So we have these 4 components, these 4 basic components of decisions: the information, tractability. Tractability it means a problem that can be solved in practice, that can be handled. And we have the cognitive limitation. These are our cognitive capability to solve the decision problem. And we have the time. So we have these four basic components of the decision. What does it mean? It means that we have this word, heuristics. Herbert Simon suggests that executives use heuristics to make decisions. They do this due to the complexity of the situation and their inability to process and compute the utility expected from each alternative action. The cost of deliberation can be significant, and there are many actions that requires simultaneous decisions. What are heuristics? Heuristics are mainly mental shortcuts. Actually, they are intuitions, and we are talking now. We are going to talk about intuition in the following section. So the solution, it seems to be intuition. What is intuition? We will discuss about intuition as pattern recognition because it's the scientific way of discuss about intuition. Intuition is an unconsciously recognized pattern in our field of experience. When confronted with a particular set of clues, we recognize that we are dealing with X and not Y. Pattern means set of clues. When we see a pattern, we have a sense of familiarity. Yes, we have encountered this in the past. And as we gain experience in the line of work, we enrich our stock of patterns. The more patterns we know, the better we can apply them in decision situations. So essentially, intuition, it means shortcut recognition of patterns based on our expertise and experience. However, as we have seen, intuition can deceive us. Kahneman tells us, because if we are returning to the exercise, to the Monty Hall, in the beginning, and if you did not make calculations such as, if you can see this, yeah, it's very, very little bit complicated calculations, but this calculation shows that if you switch, you have a car, you have the Ferrari 2 in 3, and if you don't switch, the car 1 in 3. So, and if you did not make calculations such as this one, you certainly use your intuition. So you use your intuition, but your intuition deceived you. It gives you a bad decision. So that's why I'm telling you that it is not that intuition is better than analytic decision. Rely upon intuition, as you have also done in Monty Hall, often without even noticing it. And either, unfortunately, intuition frequently deceives us, either because we do not understand its mechanisms of action, or due to the fact that we are not in a proper mental state for intuition to function in a proper manner. So let's see the way to better decisions. So as we've seen until now, we have two ways. We have the analytical way. We have the rational, logical, mathematical, systematical way, which I called analytical, but you can call it, as I said, rational, logical, mathematical, systematical, and etc. And we have also the intuitive way, which is automatic, fast, and so on. What can we do? What is the starting point? What can we do? We always start analytically. We start analytically. Which are the 4 criteria: information, time, cognitive limitation, tractability. What you can do in practice? You will check, are all the information in place to analyze the decision problem? Do I have enough time to make the decision? My cognitive ability, my cognitive capacity is okay to have this decision, to have a good decision. Is the problem tractable? Is the problem, can I handle this problem? That means tractability. If yes, if so, then I can start analytically. So let's start analytically. If not, we have to use our intuition. We use our intuition, because if the 4 criteria do not exist, or if we cannot have a good decision just based on them, intuition comes into play sometimes even when we don't know or don't want to know. What has to be done? I raised this question. Intuition can mislead us. We saw this. So what's going on? Intuition, that's one way to improve our intuition. Of course, there are other ways also to improve our intuition, but one of the most important ways to improve our intuition is to learn about cognitive dissonances, cognitive distortions, which were introduced to us by Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky. I mentioned a few of them before, like confounding possibility versus probability, status quo bias, neglecting relevant information, errors of omission versus errors of commission, the endowment effect, and so on. What can we do? We can also mix the 2 models to have a better decision making, to have a very, very good decision. What it means, mixing the 2 models. We can mix them in a recognition prime decision. Recognition prime decision, which was introduced by Gary Klein. What it means, this model, we can has an intuitive part, which is based on pattern recognition, and there is also a rational part, which is based on mental simulation. So what is mental simulation? In that case, mental simulation, so we can learn about mental simulation from skilled chess players. They don't settle for the very good, the grandmasters, the chess player. They don't settle for the first satisfactory option. They really do want to play the best move possible. Their strategy is to conduct mental simulations of each one of the promising moves, imagining how the option would play out deeper and deeper into the future. Then they take stock of their mental and emotional reactions to what they see in this mental review. If they feel that a line of play is going to get them into trouble, they reject that move. Other moves may have potential and are worth thinking about, and some just feel right. They just seem to be more promising than the others. The players are considering several moves, but their choice is based on how each move stands up to the mental simulation, not on a comparison of moves using standard criteria. Skilled chess players don't compare options using the rational choice method as we we've done before with the 3 cars, comparing them, because there is little benefit to rating options on the same evaluation dimensions, such as controlling the center of the board, increasing the defense around the king, and making good shape with the pawns. These kinds of ratings don't capture the dynamics of the game. Instead, the mental simulation strategy lets chess players appreciate how a move works for that game. The mental simulations capture the context rather than filtering it out through a rational choice method. So, how does it look, this method? So, if we are looking at this model, we have the situation here, whatever situation we face, and this situation generates some cues which we recognize, which let us to recognize some patterns that that patterns activate some action scripts, but we don't put them immediately into action. We want to assess them by mental simulation using some mental models, and then we put the best one into action, and we will affect the situation, and we turn back to the situation, to action indeed. So the conclusion: we have the rational method. We know when to use it. We've seen if we have the 4 criteria in place, we have to use the rational method. We have to use it. We have also the intuition. Now we know when intuition deceives us, and know at the same time what to do to improve it. We know all the positive and negative aspects of both of the 2 ways. And finally, we have the possibility to mix the 2 ways into the recognition primed decision method, RPD method, if we want to be 100% sure, if we want to have a good decision, if we want to be 100% sure. That's what I use to have effective decision making and problem solving. And let me conclude with another famous quote, which sounds like this: man is a rational animal who always loses his temper when he is called upon to act in accordance with the dictates of reason. Thank you very much for your attention.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for your presentation today. Thank you for accepting our invitation and for being here with us. It was an amazing event between the University of Brasov and also Unis University. And if you have any comments or questions, please comment below. All right. Don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel and follow us on social media to get more events like this. And also, Eric Costa had a podcast recorded with us. And if you would like to check it, please check it out. Internacional Unis at Spotify. It's available on all platforms. All right. Let me see if we have any questions. We have a question.
I hope you understand, all of you, what I was talking about.
Okay, yeah, it was amazing, Professor. All right, thank you very much for your presentation, Professor Eric. Nowadays, do you think people are more likely to change the way they work and still be more productive compared to other times?
Thank you, Joseph, for this question. I hope yes, because I believe we are working better. We are being better every day. I believe in humanity, being more social like this. But the most important point is we are more open, we are more acceptable, we are more, we have more respect with others too. Today, for example, is a Humans Day. We are Women's Day. Sorry, like humans too, but in this case, Women's Day, and we are more respectful with them, with her. I hope we are learn while doing, being better like this. Because for, I read yesterday something about an interview with a Brazilian famous actress, and she said, I listen every time about men saying sitting like a girl, because women have one kind of position to sit and men have another one, but it never exists. You can sit as you can, it's just a little bit part of what women's passing year by year, and nowadays I believe in more respect. So bring to this question, Jose. I believe we are better and more open, but we have to work every day. What do you think, Professor Attila?
Yeah, I cannot add any important thing to what you have said. I agree. Just
Thank you.
All right, Professor Ashton, we have another question. Will creativity always play a upper hand in solving problems in organization? And can creativity thinking be applied to solve all the issues in the organizations and upper hand?
This question is for me or Professor Attila?
Yeah, it can be both. No problem.
I think for you, because it's about creativity. You were talking about creativity.
Who is the person who is asking? I'm
One
sorry,
moment.
you can put again on the screen. Abilash. I cannot say incorrectly. I'm sorry, but so I believe in a practice, I give lessons on MBA from people from agriculture, nutrition, a lot of careers. You know, I believe that. Oh, run like a girl, Florina Chita. Sounds good. Thank you, Professor Florin. Uh, I believe that creativity works in every case. We can use to solve just a little bit problem in your home, for example, like a light this with some trouble, and you can use to solve big problems in your company too. I believe this to look something with creativity way is something to find new solutions. It's easier to say, it's hard to do, of course. Never one presentation like this will change your life, but if you start thinking like this and start doing, could be in a different way tomorrow, for example. It's important to start, but I believe, of course, that creativity can solve problems in independent in the size of your organization in this case. That's it.
Perfect, very nice. Thank you for your answer. And Pascual has a question. Great presentation, Professor Attila. What's your advice for those who are looking to develop their skills to solve complex problems?
Oh, good question. First of all, maybe it would be interesting to see what kind of complex problems you mean. But what I just gave you as examples and situations, you have to be aware that you have the capacity to analyze things. You have the rational system, your rational cognitive system. And on the other part, you have also the intuitive system, which is very fast, automatic, and which enters into the scene, the play very often in the Monty Hall example. Even if we don't know that we make a decision on an intuitive way, we sometimes make it. So you have to know that these are the two systems of our mind working together, and you have to be aware of the positive and negative aspects of both of them, to know when to apply and when to put in practice analysis, or when to use your intuition. If you have the skills and you have the expertise, you have the experience necessary to recognize some patterns and to put in the practice, you have to use your intuition. And if you saw what dissonances, distortion can mislead you, deceive you, to have a wrong decision. And if you know all these things, I can tell you that you can you are able to improve your decisions and your skills in decision making.
Thank you, Professor. We have here many comments talking about how great the presentation was. And yes, thank you so much for being here with us and for giving your time to teach us about all those creativity techniques and also problem solving skills techniques. It was really amazing. It was mind blowing. I never thought about this. And thank you again for being here. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here. Hope to see you in person, in persona, as soon as possible, because it's better than this kind of online meeting.
Okay, thank you.
That's it. I have the same words just to say thank you for this opportunity. It's a big pleasure to know you, Professor Attila. I hope the same, and we can stay together in another time. Thank you, Emerson, from this invitation, and we are here from when you need. We are here. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. I really appreciate that.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye, guys, and I
Bye.
hope to see you next opportunity.